in the week, Trump called up the Oregon National Guard. That was denied by a judge. Then he called up the Texas National Guard to send into Oregon. That was denied by a judge. And the California National Guard to send into Oregon. Same thing. Denied, 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 denied. The administration appealed. The appeals panel said ex-nay on the Texas and California, no. However, they allowed the Oregon National Guard to remain federalized until they heard oral arguments, but did not allow the administration to deploy them, which is why you have not seen Texas or California National Guard go into Portland. And those oral arguments are this morning in about half an hour. A federal judge in California blocked Trump's ability to use the National Guard in LA, using similar justifications after he heard oral arguments. So we'll see what happens here. But it is worth noting that the general of Oregon's National Guard, a couple of weeks ago, before all of this started, did say that his regiments were in training for potential crowd control, and that if they were called up for these purposes, that his focus for the mission would be protecting the protesters, not ICE. What about Chicago? When the judge said, no, you can't send the Texas National Guard to Portland, Trump was like, okay, well, I'll send him to Chicago. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, sued. That hearing is also today. In the meantime, Trump has just deployed the National Guard, which is, about what I think people expected him to do. So there are about 500 National Guardsmen from Texas and the Illinois National Guard, federalized, that are in the Chicago area. And what are they doing? The same thing they're doing everywhere else, guarding federal property. And judging from the pictures we've all seen by now of the Texas National Guard, that might be all they're capable of doing. So that's where we are right now. We will have more information about what is going to happen and whether this is going to be allowed after today, after both of those hearings. I know some of you are going to say that they should just be disobeying these orders, and I think that that is unrealistic. Until they have a judge's order to point to and say, but they told us we couldn't do it, there's no reason for them to disobey it. These are weekend warriors. They're not attorneys. And they know that they're being called to stand around and guard buildings and pick up trash. So you're asking these people to give up their pensions, even though they have nothing to base that on, in order to disobey, in order to stand around. I don't think that that's a realistic thing to ask of these people. Of course, if they stay after a judge says that you can't stay, that's a different thing. I also want to point out that there are 200 members of the Texas National Guard in Chicago right now, which is about the same number of National Guardsmen that Trump has called up to other places. There are 3 million people who live in Chicago. He's exacting political retribution as much as he possibly can on cities that he doesn't like, most of which are run by black mayors. But as much as he possibly can turns out to be 200 of these people. Remember that Trump is a TV producer and a narcissist. He does not like to be told no, he does not like to be defied, and he's going to do the thing about it that he thinks plays best on the television, whether the actual results are good or not. His sense of success is ratings. His sense of success is not efficacy. By which I mean, keep dancing in your frog costumes.